The Hutchinson River and the similarly named parkway beside it runs through the East Bronx to the Whitestone Bridge, but it's a safe bet that few Bronxites actually know who it's named after. Anne Marbury Hutchinson was a woman of many firsts, America's first feminist, America's first female preacher, and perhaps most importantly, the very first advocate for many of the basic principles our nation was founded on. The Bronx has strong ties to Hutchinson. Besides the Parkway and River, PS 78 on Needham Avenue bears her name, and this is where we find murals of this amazing woman's story. Anne Marbury was born in England in 1612. At the age of 21, she married William Hutchinson, a prosperous merchant. They considered themselves Puritans, and in 1634, they, along with their 10 kids, came to the New World. They settled in the Massachusetts Bay Colony, what we know today as Boston, in search of the religious freedoms they were denied in England. Extremely well-educated and strong-willed, Anne Hutchinson refused to adhere to the expected roles of women of the day. She organized religious meetings and soon began expounding her own theology. Her religious insight and eloquent oratory skills attracted a large following, but soon put her at odds with the colony elders. She was the first woman defended in a Massachusetts court, brought upon charges of heresy and sedition. For more, we head down the Hutch, as it's known to Bronxites, to Mercy College.
So during Anne's time period, it wasn't being tried by your peers. You were tried by the men who held those positions. There were no women who held those positions. And when we look at Anne Hutchinson, I think Anne Hutchinson and the trial that she went through are the trials that many women have gone through since that time.
At the trial, without benefit of counsel, it is said she bested the best of the colony's male preachers, theologians, and magistrates, with her keen insights and thoughtful retorts. Despite her vigorous defense, she was excommunicated and banished in 1638.
I think banishment was a blessing for her because she didn't have to endure the intolerance of the people that were in her community. Banishment for her was liberation. And in many ways, she liberated not only the women of America, but I also think she liberated the women of Central and South America.
She moved with her family and other followers to create the Portsmouth Settlement, which later became Rhode Island. After her husband's death in 1642, Anne Hutchinson moved to create another settlement in Eastchester, New York, an area we know now as the Bronx. Legend holds that her settlement could be seen within sight of the old Split Rock, which borders the Hutch and I-95.
Anne Hutchinson, I would say, is an entrepreneur ahead of the term that we use today. Here's a woman, single, several children, and decides to come all the way from this little island called Rhode Island. Now she comes to this little place called the Bronx and settle down with her family and start a farm, to start producing, to start earning money, and again, ahead of anybody as far as women are concerned.
Sadly, Hutchinson refused to leave her home in the midst of an Indian dispute with local Dutch settlers, and in August of 1643, she and 5 of her children were massacred by Siwanoy Indians. Legend again says she sought refuge in the Split Rock during the attack. In fact, the Split Rock has been preserved mainly because of its ties to Anne Hutchinson, and she truly lives on in the First Amendment of the Constitution, which guarantees Americans freedom of religion.